So no Crush 40?
Just kidding. Do you realize how many other Sonic musicians there are? Yes, Crush 40 is incredibly iconic with the franchise, but I can understand why they didn't use Crush 40 here. Why don't we just get right into our talk about what I think is a wonderful song. The sprite work is just so wonderful. Massive shout outs to the team that worked on this pixel art. I'm going to put all of their Twitters on the screen right now. Wow, oh man, the pixel art in Speed Me Up was awful. It was embarrassing. And this is a huge glow up. Integrating a celebrity into the world of a movie is always going to be really tricky. I think it's kind of going with the theme that Robotnik makes it out to be like he is the hero. There's a point later on, yeah, where the emerald is mine, and that wasn't part of the deal. Then Kid Cudi joins forces with Sonic instead. It's very likely that's what's going to be the case for Knuckles in the movie. We all kind of know that. Blue arms don't bother me. I could see why it would bother somebody because we've got the two eyes and everything else resembles classic Sonic minus the blue arms. Honestly, it's for the Sonic movie. I think having just a slight modification to the sprite, especially since these are entirely original sprites, it makes sense to have his arms be blue. In the first movie, you'll notice he did have his tan arms, and I will take this over that 100 times. So I would say that they did a really good job integrating Kid Cudi into the world of the movie, using Eggman's tech that gives him something fun to do. It may seem like a little forced to many people, right? The lack of Crush 40, sure. But again, this is for a movie, and of course, we want it to kind of cater to the average consumer. At least I do. I don't want to speak for everybody, but I think if we want this movie to do as well as possible, and we want to kind of create a new generation of Sonic fans and make Sonic kind of go mainstream, some people don't want that, but I've been kind of waiting for a moment like this for a really long time, where Sonic is back in the mainstream, and this is kind of the way to do it. And if they had to do it anyway, they did it right, in my opinion, because they have fans doing the pixel art, and it's authentic to the Sonic games just enough, but it's capitalizing on trends like popular artists that people will recognize, and the lyrics are something you could jam to on the radio, and it's not immediately Sonic, but oh, it's from the Sonic movie. And it does touch on light themes from Sonic, like Zone, but it keeps it general enough where somebody could listen to it and not even know it's a Sonic song, which I think is a strength. I do. Like Speed Me Up, for example, was too on the nose, where when you're listening to it, it feels forced. I love how he goes into, like, I think it's Power Rangers style, where he goes into a mech of his own and just like one-shots the Death Egg robot. It explodes. I'm not really sure why Sonic gives him a quill. I'm not sure what that would be for. Like, take my power and make some dope tracks, kid. And he's got the Eggman gear. It's fun. It's whatever. Like, I think really Kid Cudi just wanted to reenact that funny Jim Carrey moment. I'm glad they did, because that moment is really funny and it's memorable. Oh, and I gotta talk about this scene, because the art is just really good here. Pixel art aside, whether you like it or not, the art is just so good. And look at how his arm bends. Notice the lack of joints. Noodle arms are in the Sonic movie. His arm is even noodling here. This is stuff that you can tell a fan drew this, and a fan of the classic games is involved, which is a huge win for us. So you may not have gotten Crush 40, guys, considering everything, considering the goal of this movie, right? The goal of this movie is clearly to make Sonic as mainstream as possible, to sell as many tickets as possible. That shouldn't be a surprise to anybody to hear. I think they did it, and they're pleasing fans just enough, hiring fans, making sure the look of the pixel art is of high quality, what it should be in a movie, right? This is some of the best fan work you can get. This is cream of the crop. Since we know how much money these movie studios have when they make crappy pixel art, it just is mind-boggling. Like, we know they're cutting corners. Here, I understand all the decisions made. It's fun. It also, there is a melody. And so fans, even if you don't like this song itself, because there is a melody, imagine all of the remixes made by fans that are coming. The Genesis chiptune remixes that will be made. They tried to do it for Speed Me Up, but it sounded like but this has a melody. It can be converted and remixed and covered by other artists. And so it can be echoed and changed and refined and played with by fans. So it encourages that creativity. So even if you don't like this version, there is a version being made right now by one of your favorite fan creators that you will probably like. Crush 40 has been known in the past to do covers of songs that they didn't originally produce. I would say, if anything, Crush 40 fans, if you're bummed that it's not in the movie, maybe push to see if Paramount can let Crush 40 cover this song. Honestly, I'm saying that a little off the cuff. I don't know how well it would fit, but knowing Crush 40, they would change a lot of things, and I think that would be fun. And we actually have something else we can talk about today, and I wanted to double them up because neither of them seemed big enough to have a video entirely on their own. Let's get into the second unedited clip from the Sonic movie 2. And this is actually featuring characters our viewers will care about, Sonic and Knuckles. It's a snowboarding scene, and I've already seen it already, so this is not my first reaction. So without further ado, let's get into what we got. So this is the main thing I wanted to talk about. I've been training for this my entire life.
I've been training for this my entire life.
So this is really the only like lore piece we can kind of analyze, because Knuckles saying that he has been training for this for years implies that there's some sort of prophecy, right? That Knuckles knows about, that somebody's going to take the Master Emerald and he needs to be ready to protect the Master Emerald. Now keep in mind, this is not something that was ever clarified in the games, maybe just implied, right? Again, we've talked about it before, but in the games, story is mostly implied. They never really delve too deep into it, and that's totally fine. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. There's this prophecy, right? Where does Sonic fit into that? Where does Knuckles fit into that? We've seen on some of the posters that there's markings and drawings of Sonic on the ancient ruins. So we know there's some sort of prophecy for sure, and Knuckles is aware of it and has been training for it. I'm wondering if Tails has anything to do with this kind of prophecy business. So let's go in and just analyze the scene as that was the lore bit I wanted to tackle on, but this is really fun.
And
like,
I had no training at all, yet here I am ahead of you. That's gotta be embarrassing.
I love this. I hope that's their dynamic throughout the whole film. It's just like Sonic like clowning on Knuckles, and Knuckles being like super angry and just all about like destiny and purpose, and like these two characters just playing off of each other in that way is gonna be really fun, especially with the added dynamic of Tails looking up to Sonic, but maybe not always. Again, Sonic isn't fully developed yet, so Tails will probably have something to teach Sonic as well. And it seems like Tails has quite a lot of abilities himself. The dynamic between Sonic and Tails is very mysterious right now, which is great. It means that there is something to watch in the theater. Tails is in the logo, for goodness sake. So we know that he is going to be a prominent figure in this film. I'm happy they're saving it. They're saving Tails and Robotnik. And I have a feeling Tails and Robotnik, just because of the nature of their characters, they're going to explain a lot of things. That's going to be where the meat of the film is, I think. The early reviews are in, and it seems like everything fell into place in a good way. I cover the news really closely for the Sonic movie, so what you guys are going to be looking for when I review the movie, which will be shortly after, it'll be a non-spoiler review, by the way. I'm going to focus on if it's enjoyable despite following it so closely, because I know a lot of you guys are like me and following it really closely. You are big fans of the franchise, and I want to tell you if they gave everything away before you go to the theater, right? Some people might be on the fence of seeing it because they feel like they've already seen it because of all the trailers, and I get that. I'm kind of nervous each spot I see. I'm hesitant to watch it, but I can't look away, and then I'm like, oh god, I've already watched it on mute, so I might as well watch the whole thing. And that was this one. I didn't even want to watch it, but then it was just playing on Twitter. Then I'm like, well, I might as well see what they say because I've already seen the animation, and like, whatever, here I am. So this is the end of the scene, and it looks like Knuckles punches through the entire boulder. So I think Sonic was trying to do a flip. Yeah, I think he was only thrown off from the actual like shockwave of his punch. Like, look at the energy behind the impact. So it probably like threw him off, and so that he's like, whoa, oh god, and there's stuff in his eyes. Yeah, I get that. So it blocks his vision, and then that opens Sonic up to be attacked, which is really great. Like, you can tell that they're doing each of these characters justice. You don't want them to feel like they lose for nothing, right? Sonic is careless. He's clowning on Knuckles. He goes to do a flip, but Knuckles times a punch perfectly to blind Sonic to actually get a big hit on him, which is how you would get a hit on Sonic, right? If he can't see you, you can approach him and he can't get away. He's also in midair. We're seeing Knuckles' intelligence. So guys, I hope you're as excited for the Sonic movie 2 as I am. It's already starting to be shown in certain places in the world. So if you're seeing it soon, I'm excited for you, and I hope you have a good time. It looks like it's gonna be a really good movie that we're gonna remember for many, many years to come. If you want more content like this, where I'm just casually sharing my opinion on new Sonic stuff, please continue to let me know in the comments that you like this kind of stuff. And we still will be doing news recaps. We have to kind of pivot based on the platform YouTube has created for us. And whether it is ideal or not is irrelevant. If we want to stay on the platform, we got to make it work. That's all for now. This was Evan for Tales channel. If you like this type of content, leave a like, comment, and subscribe for more stuff just like this. See you later, and peace.